Ontario government, with whom I spoke a great deal last night. And we're going to continue to do the work needed to make sure that Canadians from across this country are not bothered or affected by these blockades that are illegal.
For Burnaby South.
Mr. Speaker, we're in the second week of the siege in Ottawa. We've got borders that are shut down across the country, including Coots and the Ambassador Bridge. This is hurting workers, truckers, small businesses, and families. We've got a Prime Minister who's more focused on debating whose jurisdiction it is. Clearly, making sure our borders are open is a responsibility of the federal government. So will the Prime Minister stop hiding behind jurisdiction and fix this mess?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, from the very beginning, we have been there to support all levels of government and the work we needed to do.
I'd like the Prime Minister to start over. They were applauding so much for his answer, I mean, they couldn't hear it. The Right Honourable Prime Minister, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, from the very beginning of this crisis around blockades in Ottawa and elsewhere, we've been working closely with partners on the ground. We've been furnishing resources. We've been furnishing RCMP officers. We've been furnishing tactical supports as we move forward through this. We understand how important it is to put an end to these barricades. We understand how important it is for people to get their lives back, to be able to get their livelihoods back. That's why we're calling upon the Conservative Party that has for the past 2 weeks been enabling, supporting, and cheering on these blockades to stay consistent in saying that they have to end, that we have to get our lives back, all of us as Canadians.
Hear it, hear it.
The Honourable Member for Burnaby South. This is the second week of the siege in Ottawa, and we have borders across the country that are blocked by these convoy protests. Instead of solving issues that are affecting all workers, Canadians, and truckers, we have a Prime Minister that wants to debate jurisdiction. It's clear there's no debate here. There's federal work to be done to make sure that our borders are working. So, will the Prime Minister stop debating jurisdiction and solve this issue? The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, since the beginning of this crisis, we've worked hand in hand with various jurisdictions by offering the necessary resources, whether it's in terms of RCMP officers or technical supports. We're going to continue to respect jurisdiction, but to be there at every stage to do everything that's needed to end these blockades. Unfortunately, we can't say the same thing for the Conservatives. Over the past 2 weeks, they have been encouraging and applauding these blockades and even making calls for funding for them. It is time for this to end because it's hurting Canadians.
Member for Calgary-Midnapore.
Mr. Speaker, this Liberal government continues to use vaccines as a political weapon rather than a tool. Unlike other governments, they can't seem to figure out how to move forward. We don't need more job vacancies or supply chain issues. Canada and Canadians need to get back to normal. Instead of creating new vaccine mandates for federally regulated workplaces, will this minister listen to the science and his MPs and move towards lifting these mandates?
The Honourable Minister of Health.